Hey everybody, and welcome to Hexiled Gaming. I'm Scott, and I've got a match of X-Wing, second edition for you here on Tabletop Simulator. This match between Tobby on the left and Sean on the right. This is round one of the Wild Space Open, a tournament celebrating new ships and points and rules, and even a new format here with sideboards. Both of these players coming into the match with no upgrades, able to see each other's list and build accordingly. Joining me, someone who's actually participating in this event. Paul, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
Fantastic. How are you doing so far in this event? Do you find the sideboarding refreshing? Has it been broken at all for you?
I like it. I think it heightens the chance of using situational upgrades like munitions, like mag pulses that might depend on initiative order, or things like plasma torpedoes, which one of this list has in many different places. Whereas you might be hesitant to take them for an all-day event where you cannot change your list, or I should say a static list event, whether it's all day or not is irrelevant. It really does allow you to tailor your list a little bit to what you're facing.
Yeah.
I played earlier this week and got a very narrow loss because Breach failed a boost and then hit an asteroid to take a damage to make a proton bomb lethal. And then Phasma with a chance to kill a one-hull Y-Wing failed with 4 dice.
You salty?
No, not salty at all. It was actually a fun game, actually, because as I said, I was facing Y-Wings. I brought plasmas. They were very effective. The random order after dials affected our game pretty heavily. I still haven't come to grips with what it's done to the strategy of approaching overlapping initiatives. Which, do we have overlapping initiatives at all here? We do, Deathrain.
Okay, yeah. Deathrain, Dutch, and Jake.
Yeah.
I4s.
Yeah, so speaking of Dutch, he's kind of committed to go into a place where maybe all of the Empire list can fire munitions at him.
Dutch Vader, tip of the spear. Maybe we'll be... So you had a prediction going in the chat, it's still going, right? On whether or not Hera would close her foils.
Yes.
I could see her closing her foils to get an evade potentially to Dutch.
Yeah, so obviously Hera, with the ability to yeet tokens to friends, can make better use of that, what is it, barrel roll to red evade? Is that what it allows?
Yes.
Yeah, so you have to flip it. You can't be critically damaged to be able to flip it, but it's just like the timing of the X-Wing foils, that before you activate, if you're not critically damaged, you may flip it. Getting access to that evade can be pretty useful, particularly for Wedge. Try and keep him alive one more turn. So yeah, it's one of those times where you might see it. I think Braylon Stram also, another B-Wing pilot that might want to use that side, but most of the time you just see it left open.
All right, do we see a thermal thrown from... Actually, you could drop, boost, and then throw if you really want to get some distance. Or you could boost right to toss towards Wedge and Hera.
I do think that the boost straight is open.
Okay.
But yeah, you're right. Maybe the drop a thermal boost ahead to the right and then throw it at speed 5 forward to see if you can just tag Hera. Not a terrible idea.
You would be heading towards that proton torpedo, but
yeah, I was about to say, it's not great if Wedge gets a torp on you.
Yeah, there's not a lot of great options to get away from that right now.
Okay, so Tobby is first player rolling a crit. Sean got none of the crits to match, so Here we go, just throwing forward.
Okay. Goes
Just
seismic.
fine.
Will that reach
Yeah.
that gas?
Sure. No. Yes? Maybe. I'm gonna go with a strong 50-50.
Wow. And that's what we love from you, Paul, is that conviction.
Uh-huh.
So tosses the seismic and uses that to boost. Here come the gammas. So I've seen Tobby fly variations of this list quite a bit. I think the first ones I saw, he used proton torpedoes and didn't have bombs on the gammas. I've seen him do barrage rockets on all three.
Mhm.
And then this variation here with the plasma. So yeah, definitely a very versatile list in this format. Oof. That's, you know what? I said there weren't a lot of great ways to get out of that proton torpedo, but the block is going to do it.
Yeah. That's pretty critical, I think, to Deathrain's long-term survival. Obviously, Sean was excited to find out whether or not Wedge was gonna... Ooh, we got a feedback ping. Let's go!
Ping!
And we also now know, because of the measurement that was made, that it does reach the gas cloud. So, what'd I tell you? 50-50.
Okay. I don't know if that quite works. Jake could move, give Wedge a focus, and use the S-foils to boost off of that? Is that correct?
Yes. Was it a 2-bank that was dialed? Because that would be blue, right?
Yes.
I didn't see. Oh, it's 2-bank. It's still exposed. Just activated it slightly out of order. But Jake is not probably close enough.
Would have been cool, though.
It would have been. It's something I tried to use a little bit in Hybrid Cup at the beginning of this year, maybe?
Mm-hmm.
I had it once lead to a big brain play and once lead to a very, very unfortunate situation.
Oh, man. This seismic is going to hit Jake and Dutch.
And maybe... No, Hera didn't go fast enough. She could barrel roll away anyway, if she wanted to lock, which...
I would do because you're in the bullseye of Deathrain, and that gives him rerolls with Barrage.
Right you are. Yeah, just barrel roll to the left, take your lock. Gives you lots of space to move into Deathrain's bombs, now that I say it out loud.
Tobby, BM pre-measuring. I saw that line, Tobby. And just to check here, foils are still open.
Yes. Yeah, the token is actually kind of covered by your arm on where it's been placed, but it is still open. Okay, here we go. Having a good time. That is... So Hera didn't roll into it, managed to evade. Wedge was hit, Deathrain was hit, Dutch and Jake. Fantastic seismic.
Wow.
Yeah, Sadmiral with the strong play there. If he was flying Wedge, he just wouldn't have bumped, so yeah.
Easy. Ooh, 3 hits.
Easy.
And Deathrain not going to give up the focus. Down to 5 hull. Still above half. Right back into her. Tobby with player 1, so his 4 will shoot first. 2 hits, 1 evade.
It has begun.
You know, I wanted to say that the other day, and I was like, nobody remembers Mortal Kombat movie, right?
Everybody remembers the Mortal Kombat movie, just not the new one, the old one.
You're right. You're right. Okay. Well, I'll work "It Has Begun" back into my canon.
There's this role-playing game called Feng Shui,
which
is like a kind of beer and pretzels kung fu thing.
Okay.
And I played it for a couple months with some friends regularly, and we would always put on the Mortal Kombat soundtrack when we were having the fight scenes.
It does rule.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
I remember having that, I think, on a tape player, and I would just go outside and run to it because it got me so pumped.
Mm-hmm. That like 130 beats per minute, like 90s techno.
Oh man, I gotta put that on like a gym playlist or something.
Ooh, we got a concussion. We have a concussion trigger.
It's a panicked pilot. Now the nice thing about feedback is it is not taken a lock action, right? It is just gain the lock. So despite being stressed here, you could still potentially get locks.
Yeah, I mean, you think on 2 hull he's not going to survive to shoot next round. So, ooh, red with the long range primary. Red barrel rolled, so did not have a focus. Jake's fine. Another shot at Jake with a focus this time.
One hit. Come on, Jake. There it is.
It's fine.
Plasma time.
Yeah. Plasma will hit.
Has to spin the target. Ooh, target lock does not convert, but you will hit and deal 1 as well. So 1 shield and then the 1 damage on the hull.
It would be 2 damage on the hull.
Correct.
Shield is lost because the attack hits, and then you deal damage.
I kept thinking Dutch had evaded it.
Evaded. He's an 11. You can't evade. You're just hanging out. Yeah, Deathrain did 1 damage with the barrage rocket on Hera.
Oh, well, they never dealt that damage to Hera. She didn't. Well, no, she didn't take one on.
She didn't take it from the bomb, so it was just the one from the shot. Yes.
I'm good. She's got 3 shields then.
Yeah, all good. Gilded Edge was asking.
Why are you guys yelling at me?
This is just talking.
Stop.
All right, everyone. Type quieter while you're chatting.
That's right. No caps.
Very delicate today.
62 minutes left. 19-23, 4-point lead for Tobby. He got a lot of feedback pings on Dutch, but only one of the bombers was able to actually shoot the missile.
Didn't quite get range. In my head, I will admit, I looked at the TIE bombers, which are excellent bombers in their own right, but I've been flying the FO bombers, and I was like, oh, they got range easy. Just boost in at system phase. You do your like 3 bank. You'll be range 2, no problem. And yeah, they don't have the same abilities in the Empire as they do in the First Order. So
sideboards are pretty cool concept, but they do very much push generic squad building. I think I've seen a lot more lists like this, which is 2 to 3 generics with slots, and then some kind of named pilot. Deathrain in this case, I've seen like 2 first order bombers and Kylo or something.
I think for now it'll definitely be the most common thing because you want to use the sideboard. You don't want to just run a list that has maybe 3 or 4 points in upgrades that you could swap around, which really gives you, like, depending on the ships, let's say 2 or 3 real choices to change. People want to experiment, so I'm already seeing, because this is the second sideboard event that I'm playing in, that my thinking about what type of list to bring and how to use the sideboard is changing. So as people get more familiar with it as a concept, I think you'll actually see a broader variety of lists.
Right. By generic, I mean Salad's not generic pilots. Well, hey, then it worked, because those are my favorite types of lists.
Yeah, I think you want the ability to have different things in the list. And maybe, you don't want to have all bombs, and so you bring a couple bombers, you bring a couple interceptors, have a good time.
I don't know that this is the case, but do you think it pushes people away from like a swarm of all the same ship? Because if you bring all M3As or all TIEs, there's not much adaptation you can do, right? But the other team can adapt to you, so they can bring diamond boron or clusters or something. Do you think that's a calculus people make?
Probably. Because I think you want to have, as I said earlier, you want to have the ability to change your loadout. And most swarms are operating on an efficiency principle, right? Like they have one or two key enablers, like say Malorus in the Xi shuttle in the First Order, or Howl Runner, and maybe Iden to keep Howl Runner alive in a TIE swarm. And yeah, you're not really building for your opponent. You're just saying, fly into my arcs and get shot 6 times by 2 dice with a reroll. Yeah, as Azaghal said, it's some archetypes get pushed out by other lists being able to pick a very efficient answer. Yeah, so as you said, clusters, trajectory simulated bombs, great against swarms, not something you're necessarily going to see unless the meta is really heavy on swarms at the time.
Looks like the eyeball takes it here in the road roll. I keep wanting to say rule. It is kind of a road rule.
MTV road rules.
Oh no. So Sean will be player 1. Deathrain going to be moving after Dutch and Jake now. I guess we should have talked about how road would affect the maneuvers. I mean, they're not really in a knife fight right now.
Yeah, these ships are not interacting at the moment. There was actually more interaction potential last turn until Tobby boosted to the right with Deathrain. You knew that he was then committed to kind of going for the block on Wedge. Ooh, little thermal drop and a barrel roll, which is cheeky. That is white because of the... It's red. Never mind.
Okay, I was like, how are you going to justify that? I don't think so. All right, turn in from yellow. Focus. 4 straight from red and a focus. What did green do? Did it roll lock? 3 straight. Why is it stressed? Oh, it had 2 because of panicked. Never mind.
Right, yes.
Put you looking for pings, but I think everyone but green already has a lock.
Well, you could move it if you wanted. I feel like Wedge might be catching a plasma when he moves in. You know what I mean?
Oh, Tobby. Letting us know. Thought he was blocking Dutch.
Yeah, that he was. You needed to align your nubs there, Tobby. The nubs would have rubbed.
Yeah, Tobby, you got to learn this lesson about nub control.
Yeah, you gotta yub nub your nub rub.
Oh man, do you think I could get sponsored by Manscaped and they would let me create my own nub rub? It's a pre-shaving cream.
I desperately hope not. I mean, not because I don't want you to have a sponsorship opportunity. I just.
All right, guys. Pre-orders for Nub Rub are in. $5, and you get some. You get a sample pack. Deathrain moves up, takes a lock.
That's right. Azaghal pointing out my duplicity in celebrating the nads, which seems to be something that I need to take credit for.
Yeah, you know what? Maybe our brands align more than we think. Hera with a bump.
Sadmiral pointing out that Yubnub is what the Ewoks say. No, I don't. Is that? No.
Is that?
All right, Red thinking about that lock. Yeah.
I see green move a lock, so that was a feedback ping.
Sure was. Red. Come on, Tobby. You got the plasmas. You want to shoot them at Wedge. What are you... Like, why? You saving it to shoot at Dutch? Dutch is a chump.
But Dutch is down to 4 hull.
Listen, you can't just move one ping only.
Why not?
You're not Sean Connery.
Is this a Hunt for Red
There you go.
October reference?
Sure is. Let's go. Yeah.
All right.
So, I mean, that also makes Red the more likely target from Wedge's protons. Listen, they're slinging torpedoes fast and furious here. That's not a Fast and Furious reference, by the way.
Okay. Thank you for clarifying that. If you'd rolled left and backwards, would it have gotten you out? Given this range, probably not.
Sorry, who? Wedge?
If Wedge had just rolled left and backwards?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Taking this thermal. Wedge takes a crit on the shield.
Well, the plasmas don't have any shields to chew through because of effective munitions.
Here's the second one on. Oh, double crits! Oh no, Wedge! Yeah, this is the insult here is that your plasmas now. Yeah, they don't have.
That's a loose stabilizer on Wedge, which ain't great. We got a strain on Dutch, also not great. And did Green take one? I missed. Green did not. Yes, he did. He's down to 1.
He did, because he's down to 1. Yeah. Hera. 3v2 on.
Oh, didn't have red in range, so has to shoot a.
That's not a Punisher.
At Green.
Yikes! All eyes there. Great block there.
Oh, because of the bump. Yeah. Okay.
Proton torpedo from Wedge. 1 hit so far. Going to be a crit eventually. Hit, crit. Into a blank. Green is dead. GG, well played, Green.
Wait, he didn't lock red? He locked green?
Negative. He's going to let Dutch take care of that.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Is that how that works?
Actually, Dutch has a lock on yellow, so never mind.
And would be range 2 for some missile action, too.
Hot missile action. 3 hits. Takes 2 on yellow.
Preserving his focus for his double modded munition back. Dutch, you gotta think he's firing the conch. Now that he's got cards to expose.
Rerolling that eyeball with the target lock. Oh, great conversion.
Brutal
Yellow.
Yellow, I think, should spend the focus to not die. Because you're going to have a bunch of crits here.
Console fire is exposed. The hit goes through. I think this is going to be our first crit.
Yeah.
It is a structural damage. And damaged engine. Still alive.
Clinging to life.
Don't let Paul pressure you into spinning your focus.
I was wrong.
Yeah.
I accept full responsibility for this focus being unusable on his attack.
There's the
console
fire. Never mind. He should have spit. He should have spit.
The console fire was actually the concussion hit.
Oh boy.
So that was one of the 2 cards that was down before the others were dealt. Should have spent the focus. Ayo! I wasn't wrong. I take it all back. But not the part where I was right.
Dutch takes 1. Opening him. Oh, yeah. Well, now the ship is going to ignore Dutch and shoot into Wedge with the plasma. 3v2.
Now, Wedge has lost shields already, but who needs mods? Don't bring them.
Was Dutch not
Dead
strained?
Wedge.
He is. What? Oh, dead Wedge. Uh-oh, things are changing.
It's happening so fast.
I can't keep up.
Tobby individually deleting all of the parts of yellow.
Dismantling that ship piece by piece.
And then he doesn't realize, apparently, that if you gather a group and then mouse over a card that's face down and hit G, it will flip them all up face down for you when it gathers.
Now, there was a brief period with the last update of TTS where it wouldn't let you flip multiple things at once, but that has been remedied.
Oh, right. That was the spending a token by flipping it. So how does that work? Is you just, if you flip a focus token, for example, it will say so and so. If it was assigned to say Wedge, it would say Wedge has spent a focus, then delete it.
I believe. I don't know about deleting it. That's a good question, because I've never flipped a token in this mod. But yeah, so it is a cool way to show, like, in the log when a complete record of what's happening.
I understand it's kind of easier for cleanup, and I like that it reports into the log. If it deletes things, I often accidentally leave stuff highlighted. And like then I go to flip something and I just mouse over it and hit F and I'm like, what? I just heard something flip. What's going on? Is there a way to save the log? If you save the game state, so you just save the game, it would save the log as well. Gilded Edge saying it does delete tokens on flip. Okay, I'm gonna have to be careful about that then. Obviously, you'd see it in the log and you would know, like, I didn't intend to spend those tokens, so thankfully there's a record of it.
Right.
Just a little thing to keep in mind. Yeah, I believe the log is preserved when you reload a game state, right? Which I don't know.
I don't know about that. Oh, road roll. Come on, you gotta. No, Tobby's moving too fast because there's a Hera dial over here that has not been completed.
So this is actually one of the things that I appreciate, at least the timing window that road is in, is it is an explicit acknowledgement by both players that they are done setting their dials.
Oh, yeah.
So from that point of view, I've used it before to stop myself from wheel spinning. My opponent says I'm ready to roll, you say I'm ready to roll, and then it's it. Like there's no going back. The dice are in the air, which I appreciate.
Also saying, "Hey, I'm ready to roll" is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's right. Let's roll, but not you, because I'm gonna kill you. Yeah.
Hard turn and a barrel roll. Speaking of rolls, trying to block maybe a 4K from Wedge.
Oh, if he blocks anybody, then he can proxy them. Oh! He was trying to block the sloop and failed. Oh, Tobby.
Yeah.
Here comes another message.
Boy, he's so close to these blocks and just not quite getting them.
And you know what? This one would have been a nub rub, but his nub wasn't pronounced enough. You needed a non-standard nub in order to get that block.
You know what? Has anybody who really wants to get blocks, like tried to extend your nubs? Like put some crazy glue on the front or something? Try to make them larger? Don't do that. I'm just wondering.
That seems like I absolutely know that I have been at an event where someone was using filed nubs.
Oh, okay.
Because I remember they looked weird and it didn't matter. And then it came to a point where like we were trying to fit something and it didn't fit even with the filed nubs. So like, whatever base geometry it was, we were trying to fit a block and it just wasn't, but it was like really clear looking at my base and looking at his so closely.
Yeah.
They were not the same, and it was not just a manufacturing defect.
Big in the chat saying, anyone tattooed a range ruler on their forearm so that you can lean casually on the table? So that's something I've seen. Adam Savage from the Mythbusters has like a ruler tattooed on his arm. Yeah, could you do a range ruler? I mean, of course it's going to stretch and be wrong with age, but close enough. No.
I don't know if you know. I don't know if any of you in chat or you, Scott. I think we're pretty sure you have fingers, but I have fingers that don't change length, and so you can use them. Because you're like, what am I doing? I'm putting a template down, and I'm not saying like lay your thumb next to it and roll it over and be like, okay, it's 2 thumb widths. But like, you can absolutely use your body as measurement. You should, in fact. My grandma's dying wish was that I knew how long 12 centimeters was at all time, that I could measure pieces of paper against my forearm. Sure, why not? Actually, I've got a scar from where I shattered my wrist and had a dick-shaped titanium plate inserted. I should measure
what
that.
shape?
A dick-shaped titanium plate.
Okay, I thought I misheard. I didn't.
Nope, the X-ray is quite explicit.
That's fun. For anybody who takes an X-ray, are you often trying to find ways to force X-rays of your body just so like some doctor comes in afterwards like, you got me?
Yeah, exactly. Hey, doctor, did you find D's in my arm? D's what? D's nuts.
Whoa!
Got him.
And he's like, you know what? This one's on me.
Yeah, I actually
We're not charging your insurance. You lost
my picture of my X-ray.
Hey, Jake just lost his life.
Yeah. It turns out that red being right in front of Jake was fatal to the A-Wing, which is not how you normally expect that to go. Dutch is clinging to life.
I definitely...
Wedge is dead. Hera,
I thought that position was worse for the bomber. Like, I saw the sloop from Jake, and I was like, oh, Jake, he's got that bomber dead to rights. Nah, man. It looks like he put 2 through before he died, but then he did die.
Which I think, if we were to examine it, was probably his biggest mistake in this game, was dying.
Yeah, Jake, he's going to remember that. I'm trying to find, like, a good place on my body to line up this ruler, and it's not great.
Okay, so one of the things that you do often is you lean on a table, right? Like, just naturally, casually. So if you do from the edge of your elbow to maybe the point of your wrist, and you know how far that is, you can just accidentally understand geometry of the table when you're doing natural things.
It's close to range 3 from my elbow to the hand. I feel like I'm gonna get that wrong a lot, but...
So, yeah, you're not gonna lay your arm down and be like staring at it with your opponent being like, what the hell, dude? Like, are you measuring? No. I'm just laying my arm in the middle of the board for no reason.
Look, I just need to rest, okay?
But it's like knowing that you placed something just away from 2 and 2 from the edge, but like purposefully moved it half a base in so that if your opponent is using it to gauge things, they might get it wrong. There's all these things that you can do. Yeah, this game is actually a lot closer than I thought it would be.
2 thermals dropped. He must have reloaded last turn because he's got a lot of charges back.
He must have. Yes, I'm. Okay, no, we got...
Yeah, we gotta get the bomber first.
All Empire ships are hitting gas clouds this turn, we know that now.
It's pinball. You gotta bounce off the bumpers. Get those points.
For some reason, Dutch has decided that he is just gonna remain in the sights of the bomber behind him. Probably wants to take a lock action here to pass one to Hera. Oh, he unset his dial accidentally when he flipped it back, so set to the 2 hard that we saw earlier. Nope. Gonna focus. Okay. Here's the other gas cloud. Deathrain. Free bonus token with purchase. What if you made a mat out of range rulers? I feel like that would leak information to your opponent as well.
Oh man, did Hera not barrel roll? Because she's in that bullseye again. Spins the focus for hit it crit. One single evade from the strained bomber takes hit crit.
He lives, but
Stunned.
stunned. Okay. Well, good thing he's not gonna go over the gas cloud. So it's cleared the nubs. So good nub control from Tobby there, despite his earlier issues with nubs. Nub control sounds dirty.
Yeah. I was gonna let it go. Boy, we really should get a sponsorship, huh? Hit it crit.
Yeah. All right, Hera's at half. Man. Just no chill. We got a plasma, yeah.
Yeah, could finish off. Should finish off Dutch. Actually, 2, 4, 5 out of 6. Yeah, Dutch is on 1. As long as you get one other paint. Yeah.
There you go.
Dead.
This is Hera versus the world.
There's not a whole lot of world left. Red's on 2. Deathrain's 5.
Yeah, I was thinking that the earlier damage that Deathrain took was going to be bad. But Tobby did an excellent job of getting the bumps when he needed them, and didn't lose more than that. Was able to basically occupy Sean's heavy hitters, right? Hera and Wedge. Get rid of some of the action efficiency while he took out Dutch, which is more action efficiency. Yeah, which nubs? It's your yub nub. Okay, if you're Hera here, do you just replace your dial with a silencer dial and see if your opponent notices? Because it would help.
When did you get 2 blue hards?
Exactly. What do you mean 1 hards are white? What? Since when? Oh, it's just on the dial, man. No need to look at the back.
I feel like I did that. Like I had... But it was worse. Like I think I had a Z95 dial instead of an X-Wing or something. And I was like, I swear I had a talent roll.
Yeah, there was thankfully we caught it before it affected the game, but I was, at my local game store many years ago, probably a decade or so, maybe 1,000 years. It's been so long. And I was playing against someone. It was the first game, and we were just doing the initial positioning. And he flipped his dial over, and I went, "That's weird. I thought that maneuver was blue for this ship, whatever it was he was flying. I think it was a TIE Interceptor." And he was like, "Yeah, it is." And we looked at the dial, and it was white. And he was like, "What?" And he brought a TIE Fighter dial by accident.
Yeah.
So that could have been a big difference.
Yeah, I feel like in the instances I've seen that, it's been... I've not seen anybody try to cheat that way. It's more been, oops, I mixed up these things in the punch board.
Yeah, no, it was...
And it's almost
it was
always
even
worse.
Just... He grabbed the wrong dial out of his correctly assembled dials, and it was definitely not to his advantage.
Proximity mine dropped with Nimble Bomber. Here's a trajectory simulated thermal.
So what action you take? Got a lock already. Take your focus, okay.
That turns on your barrage rockets. Here's the one bank.
Gets rid of the strain. Probably gonna eat that bomb and die.
Oh, he's here to try and
sorry,
block
he's
it.
on 4. My bad.
What is he trying to block?
The
Is it
2K or
2K
the
and a
one
one
talent to the
talent?
left? Yeah.
But I don't think he's blocked a 2K. He got too close.
No, that blocks the 2K. Isn't it? Maybe?
I think
Maybe
there's two
not.
base links.
Yeah, you could be right. All I know is that it never fits when I want it to. And the one talon was always the correct choice.
All right.
Oh, that's right. He's got an A-wing dial. Just slide it over to the side. Somehow reassign it. This only works with physical dials, really. And also is terrible. You should not cheat this way. Okay. Some discussion. Here comes Hera. It is the one talon to the right. Which
Ping. Do it.
I expected. Yeah. We got feedback ping from Red. Which I don't know why he's measuring range 1 from himself, but obviously within range 1 of the pizza.
Hold on. Now that you've said pizza, I have to go check to see if my favorite pizza place is reopened.
What are they checking? What? The rolling dice. Oh, for the bomb. The thermal. Okay, I caught up, chat. Okay, so you're Hera. You're stressed. You're range 1 of Deathrain, who has a lock on you and an advanced proton torpedo. You have 3 hull.
Oh. Yeah, I forgot about that APT. That's not great.
Here it comes. One more. Yeah. Fully modded.
Good crit so far. Gonna reroll the blanks. Hey, and that's all of it, and that's gonna be the game. Even with the evade 4 go through. GG. Wow. Congratulations to Sean. And just doing the double check here. I don't think those... What did I say?
You said congratulations to Sean. Well, it was a fun game. You know, well contested. Tobby.
Congratulations to Sean on a great game. Congratulations to Tobby on the win.
Yeah, okay, there you go.
And I was so wanting to check on the stabilized S-foils, which I believe never closed.
That's correct. It was open the entire time, which I believe most people did. Let me resolve that prediction using my illegally obtained mod powers. 83% choosing that they would remain open all game.
Wow. Definitely the early engagements there with Wedge and Dutch out front, probably where you might have maybe given an evade to someone, but didn't turn out that way. Thank you, everybody, for watching, and thank you, Paul, for joining me.
Thanks for having me. It was fun.
That'll do it for this match. Until next time, this is Scott from Hexiled Gaming, signing off.